everyone. I am Jen Audette, and I am a superstar director with Scentsy, and I'm one of your superstar directors. So to kind of introduce myself, in case you don't know who I am, the great Becca, Levi, and Callie are my superstar directors. So I actually joined Scentsy 10 years ago. So August of 2008, I needed to make some extra money, went on the internet, hit an ad, which just happened to be Becca Levi's. Okay, seriously, did I not get the winning ticket, the lottery? I never need to win the lottery because I already won by clicking her ad. Joined under Becca, and the rest is history. And I'm sandwiched in between the great Becca, Callie, and the Wick Freeze. So Alexandra and Scott, who are two of my favorite people. You guys are so lucky and so blessed to have such amazing leadership. Now, Carly and Martina also, who are providing this amazing training for you. Seriously, does it get any better than this? So anyway, I am Jen, and I hope I've gotten to meet you. And if I haven't, I can't wait to meet you because I love traveling, and that's one of the greatest gifts of Scentsy, right? We all get to travel all over the world and meet each other, and we have friends on almost every continent, almost. Hopefully the rest of the continents will be included soon. So a little bit about me, just to give myself a little credibility. I work my business pretty hard too, just like all of the other people that you know who have gained success. I was able to retire from my job. I was a dental hygienist. I earned a great income. I had 6 figures. I was able to replace my income. Actually, I think I replaced it in just over a year, but Terry Levi, who's Becca's husband, told me, he said, you know what, Jen, until you are clearing 3 times the amount that you were making before, don't leave your job, because that way Scentsy is not as, I forget how he worded it, and it was so much more eloquently than the way I'm going to, because I tend to butcher things, but he said, don't do it because you don't want Scentsy to be your job. You still want it to be your happy place. And so I did just that. I waited until I tripled my income, and I finally left my job of 23 years, and I still miss them so much. And you know what's funny is I was one of those people who always said, oh, I would never leave my job because that is my career. I worked hard for it. I love it. I would never, ever do it. And I hear people say it all the time, but honestly, I know now that it's kind of a security blanket because you're a little afraid that people think you might fail, so you don't want to say, oh yeah, my goal is to leave my job. So anyway, I know I'm here to talk about follow-up, so I have gotten myself way off track already, and I have messages coming in that I need to clear. So okay, done. That's me. Like I said, I've done well. I've been paid at title. I made superstar director, just to give you a little credibility about myself. I made superstar director in 13 months, I think it was. 13 months I made superstar director. I've always been paid at title. I've never not been paid at title. I've been a top earner for many of the incentive trips. I was a top earner for Greece, for whatever. You guys don't care. But anyway, I got to go to Africa, which was on my dream board. So I've gotten to travel the world. I get to stay home with my kids. I have the best life ever. I was able to hire my mom as my assistant. My parents are retired now. It's just amazing. Like, we're so lucky, so blessed. And follow-up. Let's talk a little bit about follow-up. So the one thing you guys can see, I'm actually, I do a lot of parties myself. I do all that stuff. Those are my gift bags that I put in my customer orders right now. So when somebody, like I have a party that's coming in today, those are all the bags that I've already pre-made to go into my customer orders as I label everything and package it all up. And in my bags, in case you're wondering, I have, my thank you. I have the fall brochure, the new catalog. It's fall here. I know where you guys are. It might not be fall. So spring, summer for you. The new catalog, just a copy of the product sheet. I have a whole bunch of samples. I have samples of room spray, Scentsy Fresh, washer whiffs, about 3 different wax samples. And I think that's about, and hand cream samples. So anyway, that's what's in those bags. Those are my elite customers. I love to spoil them, and they keep coming back. And so that leads me into follow-up. So when I think about follow-up, my brain, because I'm a recruiter, I guess the bottom line is, depends on what you guys want with your business. If you want a big, huge, successful Becca Levi, Scott and Alexandra business, then you have to sponsor like crazy. You have to recruit people, whatever word you prefer to use. I hear people say all the time, I hate the word recruit. I hate the word sponsor. Whatever it is that you want to use, just do it. Just talk to everybody you know about Scentsy. So when I think about follow-up, my brain thinks about recruiting, about people that I've had conversations with on joining my team. So I have to make one little admission to you. I am a paper person. So if you guys don't like paper and you like all digital ways of tracking things, you're not going to like me. As a matter of fact, I grabbed my bag. This is my bag of notebooks. I carry this thing everywhere. This has my life in it. So these are all of my different tracking systems. Now, one thing is that at one point in my Scentsy business, I became a little bit overwhelmed. I've never lost my love, to be honest, but I did become a little overwhelmed because I would hear Sarah's system, and then I would hear Jenny's system, and then I would hear Melissa's system, and I'd hear Shelly's system. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do all of these systems. You don't need to do all of these systems. You need to do the systems that work for you, but you need a system. So I'm going to start right off with my system of follow-up on how I follow up with potential recruits. So let me find that notebook. It's actually a little, I want to create something. Of course I can't find it. Where the heck is it? I want to create something. Here it is. I want to create something, and I just haven't had a chance to do it. But I have the perfect, in my mind, the perfect notebook that I want for this particular system. I even put a cute little cover on it. It says, Building My Dream Team. Problem is I haven't given myself enough space. So this is my 2018 Master Prospect List. So this is how I keep track of everybody that I have. These are actually all people that have told me that they want to join my team. So I have a lot of people that want to join my team. And as you guys know, they don't all join. And you also know that sometimes it takes 6 years for them to join your team. So the key is that follow-up and having it organized so that you check in with them regularly. So by regularly, what do I mean? Not every 2 weeks, because if if somebody says, no, I just can't right now, and they've been saying that for 2 years, probably checking in with them every 2 weeks is going to drive them bonkers, and they're not going to want to join your team. So you have to kind of go, and I just make notes. I keep notes. I highlight in pink once they've joined. I scribble them out if they're like, please do not ever contact me again. So I just keep track of it that way. That's my master prospect list. Now, my perfect ideal notebook that I would love to come up with would be a nice, now I love good paper. Anyway, I'm not going to go into all the details, but I would like it organized like an address book. You know the old-fashioned address books that we used to buy? I want an address book, but that's organized by last name so that I can have my prospects in by name. That way, when they contact me, I'm not going, oh my gosh, where is she? When did I talk to her? What did we talk about? So anyway, that's my follow-up system for my prospects. Now, I have an ad on Facebook. It's been going for years. It's nothing. It's not even cute at all, but it's a reinstatement ad. And so this is my reinstatement follow-up book. So these are people, and I kind of made that. I told you about my little dream notebook. So I kind of did that here. I just put little tabs, A, B, C, D, E, F. So this is how I follow up with people who are thinking about reinstating onto my team, and once they've reinstated. So I just have their information based on the letter, their last name. So I give a little bit of space in between each one. So that is my reinstatement notebook. I know you guys probably hate me right now, and you're probably like, okay, this girl's crazy. She carries around all these notebooks. But this is what works for me. So I'm old. I'm way older probably than all of you. I could be your moms, or maybe not grandmothers, but I could be your moms. And I'm a notebook girl, so I like my notebooks. Okay, so what else do I have here to share with you? What's this notebook? So these are my new recruits. So anytime, let me go back to another notebook because I have 3 different ones going. So they're based on years. So anytime somebody joins my team, they go into one of my special notebooks, and they get an entire page. So let's see, let me show you. So Nicole Adams. So this is Nicole Adams's page, and so I have these based on the date that they joined. So she joined last November. So I always write when their shooting star date is at the top. I write when their sensational start date is at the top. So I will literally carry this notebook around for my check-ins with these people because it's super important to me to check in with them all the time. And then I make a note when something's special, like if she tells me that she has her big event coming up. That way when I go back, I can look at that page and say, oh my gosh, Nicole had her big event last month. How did it go? Or last week, or whatever it is. So I will check in with her. So I have I started doing this in 2016. So I have my 2016, 2017, and 2018 notebooks. I've started, so what I'm doing now is, sorry, I know I'm making this super confusing for you, and I hope that I'm giving you some value and that you're getting a little bit out of this, but what I started this year is I started doing it with Annual Mentor Award. So my newest notebook, this notebook, is May. It'll be May through April 30th of next year. So my goal is to use this darn thing up. I need all these pages filled with my new recruits because I want a notebook for every single year. So that's how I do my follow-up with them. Now, I have several notebooks of that. Now, I have this other little notebook. This is something new that I'm trying. Guys, it's a process. It's learning what systems work. So I've tried it all. So if you go on YouTube and you look up follow-up systems, Scentsy, you're going to find 5 million. I've tried them all. I've done the recipe box idea. I've done the notebook where you check in 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I've done that. I've got all those notebooks up and ready to go, but they just didn't really work for me because I don't know why, they just didn't work with my system. Oh, I forgot a system. So Maven, I know that you guys don't have all of the possibilities with your Maven app, or not possibilities, but you don't have all of the, I don't know what the word is, but anyway, you don't have all the stuff on your Maven app that apparently we have in the United States, but to be perfectly honest, I just use it in a simple way. I use it to use those names and follow up with them. If you guys aren't using Maven, if you're not taking advantage of it, you are crazy because it is incredible. It will actually save a notebook or two. So I haven't been transferring them into my notebook, which I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not yet, but I am using my Maven app every single day, and I am responding to these people. I'm sending a message to these people, and it's definitely gotten me some sales. It's gotten me some people, asking about joining my team. No one has joined from the Maven app. Oh my gosh, yes they did. I just got a recruit this week from my Maven app. I forgot that that's where she came from because I followed up with her. She actually wanted to do a party. I sent her a little message and I said, hey, have you seen our new fall catalog? If you can collect $200 in orders, we can make it a party, blah, 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 blah. I kind of started it with that. And then she's like, yeah, sure. And then I said to her, well, you know what? Once you've collected these orders, we could talk about you possibly becoming one of my team members. And she was like, oh, really? I don't think I have time for that. So then she got back to me and said, hey, Jen, I have my $200 in orders. She goes, actually, I have another person giving me $150 in orders, so I'm going to have $350 in orders. And I said, okay, Tammy, you know that if you just collected another $150, so I'm talking about US dollars, of course, another $150, you would already have earned our first award with Scentsy. You'll be on our team. You'll get a discount on all of your products. I already know that your friends and family love Scentsy because look how many orders that you collected. Like I said, you're gonna get that shooting star award. Like seriously, come on. Boom. She actually didn't even respond to me. She went and she joined. And now, a week into her business, she's at 750 PRV. So she's almost certified. So now we're having the conversation about, okay, you don't want to only make a 20% commission, so let's get that number to 1,000 before the end of this month so that you earn a 25% commission. Okay, sorry, I know you guys already know all that, but I get excited. So anyway, this is my other kind of a follow-up thing. So what I did here is everything else that is trapped in my brain, because I have so many things that happen all the time. Do any of you guys have OCD and ADD and every DD that there is possibly out there because your brain just never stops? Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and think about crazy things that, like with your Scentsy business or people, and you're like, oh my gosh? I have gotten to the point where I have headphones now that in my room. It's so bad that I have these boring YouTube channels that I'll put my headphone in my ear. This just actually really works for me. I'll put my headphone in my ear and I'll put my phone back down just for something super boring, so it'll put me back to sleep so my brain will stop thinking. So anyway, because it's, you know what's amazing is 10 years. I have been a Scentsy consultant for 10 years and I still love, breathe, get excited about, like, Scentsy is the best thing ever. And I have never once, like, wavered in my positivity for Scentsy. Like, I love this company. And yes, sometimes things happen where I'm like, oh my gosh, why did that happen? Why did they run out of that warmer in 5.8 seconds? Or why didn't they make enough buddies? But the truth is I get so excited, even though it's frustrating, because we have a product that 12, 13 years in is still super incredibly popular. Everybody wants this stuff in every country. It's amazing. It's incredible. Okay, anyway. So what I did was I took all of that crazy stuff that was flying around in my brain, and I bought this notebook. Now, Melissa Gratz, who's a dear friend of mine, I don't know if you guys know her or not, but she's a superstar director in Michigan, and she does this thing called bullet journaling. Now, my other problem is I am not, what's the word? I'm not creative. Guys, I copy everything. I can't come up with a thing on my own. Like, look at how pathetic my bags are. These are my little, like, it's a bag with a leaf. I just bought these little, what are they called? Whatever. They're not paper, but they're some kind of material leaves. And I sprayed them with room spray, so they actually smell really good, like farm stand pumpkin. And that's the amount of creativity that I have. I have zero. So anyway, Melissa does these beautiful bullet journals. Plus, for me, it would be really time-consuming to do that, to sit and decorate pages and all that. I don't have the time to do that. So what I did was I took things, so follow-up type things, and I put them in my notebook. So I just added a little tab, and so these are all the extras. So I'll tell you what's in my little notebook here, but like this first tab is drawings. Anytime I say I'm going to do a drawing, or if I write on my team page, okay, the next person who blah, blah, blah is going to get blah, blah, blah. I write that on the page that I wrote drawings. And that way now I can go back and I can say, oh, who won the last time? Oh, what did I give? Oh, what did I do a drawing for? My next page is sent card. So I've just started doing this, like I said. So anytime I send a card to a team member or somebody, I write down in this little notebook so that I can follow up, because if Courtney became a grandmother and I sent her a card in July, then I can go back on Facebook and I can follow up with her and say, hey, how is Grammy life going? And it's not that I don't care, and it's not that I have to pretend to care. It's that I have a lot of people on my team, and it's hard to remember all of this stuff all the time. And so by having this little like ultimate follow-up notebook is very helpful to me. My next page is tracking my numbers. So it's basically a follow-up for me. So I keep track of, so like September 4th, I wrote down my PRV, my TWV, GWV group, how many people in my group and how many people on my team. And I'll do that like probably 8 times during the month. That way I can compare month to month and year to year, because it's really fun to see, oh my gosh, last year on September 21st, I only had this much DWV. Look at how much my group has grown. I'm so excited. Okay, the next one is my annual mentors. So I keep track of all of my frontline, so I have just a quick view of who has certified. How far away am I from earning the annual mentor award? The next one I have is Facebook parties. I haven't gotten too good at that, so maybe it's more ideas. Yeah, ideas of how many Facebook parties I think I'm going to do, because I haven't really done them. I had this grand idea that I was going to start doing them, and you know what? I'm a home party girl. Team incentives. So this is another one. I write down what my team incentive was, and then I look, and then if I notice, this is what I love for this follow-up for team members. If I notice that Heather sold 2,000 and sponsored 2 people in July and got this amazing incentive that I offered to her, and then I'm noticing that today, it's September, she's only at 10 points PRV. Why the heck is she there? So I'm going to follow up with her. I'm going to say, okay, what's going on? Because in July, you had this amazing month, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I keep track of my trips, incentive ideas. So this is another one when my brain is like, okay, I can't come up with anything really creative. So I always have ideas written down. People who are trying to earn a kit. So if I mail somebody in the mail, if I mail them like a product sheet and 3 or 4 little mini testers and a catalog and whatever, and I say, hey, if you want to try to collect orders and earn a kit, here you can do it. And that way I have all of their information written down. I can follow up with them. Team meeting ideas, when I send fun mail. So I write down when I send some fun mail or happy mail to somebody, I write it down and I write down why I sent it to them. Again, so I can follow up with them. Past hostesses. I just keep a list of past hostesses so that I can follow up and I can say, oh my gosh, it's been 3 months since you've had a party with me. Or remember that great fundraiser you did last year? So it's just all right there. I'm not in the workstation. I'm not trying to figure this all out. This is much easier for me. Past fundraisers. Past events, again, following up with all of these people, sensational start tracker, and my shooting star tracker, because those are things right now in my notebook that I need. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm at 19 minutes. I was not gonna make this video that long. So anyway, follow-up is super important. I find that I like to spend most of my time with my new recruits, and I'm following up with them constantly every day, because remember, it's those people who are first entering your team that have the most passion, the most excitement. Those are the people you want to be following up with regularly, every day, every couple days, whatever it is that you can, often. And then it's very important to me to follow up with my potential recruits. Every day I go through that list. I go through my little crazy notebook that I have that I've already lost again. This one. I go through this every day, making notes. Not every person every day, but I look to see what they said, or when they said that they may be interested in joining, so that I can go back and contact them. I also think it's very important to follow up with your team regularly, and remembering that you want to work with those who deserve your time, not those who demand your time. And that's a really hard, tough love thing. I try to love everybody. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But we have had the discussion about why you can't get to 2,000 PRV, or why you can't get to 500 PRV, or whatever your goal is, and I've given you several ideas and options, and you never get back to me, or you always have your reasoning why it's not going to work. I don't have enough time in my day to continue to babysit you, I guess would be not really the right word, but I know it's tough love, and I know it's kind of mean, but I really want to spend my time with those who deserve it, those who are putting in the work, those who are trying their hardest, those who are producing. It's kind of like, honestly, when I first joined Scentsy, I hear people say all the time, oh, my spouse does not support my business. And then when I dig deeper, and they'll say to me, you're so lucky that Eric was so helpful, and that he really was there, and he did the dishes for you. I didn't do a dish for over a year after I joined Scentsy, because Eric did all the dishes. And I say, okay, so what was your paycheck like? And they're like, oh, well, I made $30, but I spent $300 on all these fancy things for my home parties. And I'm like, well, you're not making any money, so no wonder your husband or your spouse isn't, or your significant other isn't happy. So you've really got to, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but anyway, I think I must be talking about, if you want support from your family, you've got to share your goals, you've got to work together, but you've got to produce the income, you've got to produce the results. So anyway, wow, I have gone all over the place. I did write down a couple of notes. I think I probably covered all of it. I think I've probably gone way too long. So anyway, I hope this helps you. I'm super proud of you guys for taking this class. You're so lucky. You have some amazing people in your leadership group. Seriously, Becca, Levi, and Callie Petticourt are the shining stars, and they're my sponsor, and they're part of your group. You have Scott and Alexandra. You have all these absolutely incredible people. So anyway, I love you guys. I can't wait to meet you if I haven't met you yet. Please come to somewhere. Come to the United States, or maybe I can come visit you again someday. I got to go with Scott and Alexandra to New Zealand and Australia, and it was incredible. Oh my gosh, one of my dreams. My husband's dream is to go to New Zealand. So we'll see. All right, I love you guys. Have a great day. Keep working hard. Don't give up. Don't let people bring you down. Keep working hard. Anytime you hit one of those dips, just remember, you got to get through that dip, and you got to get back up and climb, and then you're going to reach the top, and then you have to go down a little bit again. That's the model of our business. It's going to do this, but it's what do you do when this is happening? Do you quit, or do you work harder? Because this business is the only business in the world where you literally write your own paycheck. You are guaranteed how the amount of work and effort and time you put in will produce that much income, if that's what your goal is. If your goal is about income, you will make the money. You will earn the trips. You will be able to stay home and see your children get off the school bus like I got to. I never saw my kids get off the school bus, and thanks to Scentsy, every time I hear that squeaky, squeaky, squeaky noise coming down the road of the school bus, I get to be that mom who stands outside. If I want to bake cookies, I can bake cookies, and I can be waiting, holding my little plate of hot cookies. My kids only wish, huh? But if I wanted to, I could totally have that plate of cookies as my kids got off the school bus. Truth is, they don't ride the school bus anymore, but there were years when I would literally cry standing on my front porch watching my children get off the school bus, because how lucky am I that I now am not sitting in an operatory cleaning people's teeth, the job that I loved so much and I would never leave, and now I get to make videos for fun and create little packages and pretend like I'm crafty. So anyway, love you guys. Have a great day. I need to stop talking. Mwah.